This is something that has been going on for many a years with the Selena's family, the Selena Quintanilla family, Chris Perez and Abraham Quintanilla. They have settled their differences and are ready to move forward with all of their lawsuits things. For some of you that may or may not know, Chris wrote a book, which is fantastic, called To Selena with Love, and he wanted to turn that into a mini series. And the Quintanilla family,
Well, and who is Chris? Just for anybody who's not
Chris
totally
Perez it was Selena's husband, and he was also in her band, Los Ninos, or Selena y Los Ninos. Considering the rights of her legacy, the music, what's going to all happen. They've been battling. There was just recently a Netflix series that came out, which was, from the Quintanilla family's perspective, more or less. That it was Abraham was directly involved, her father. And they blocked, Chris's perspective of one he wanted to do a mini series. They blocked it, but they've come to a nice little agreement with things. Chris posted on his Twitter.
Good news, I've amicably resolved my legal dispute with the fam. Now these issues are behind us. Going forward, my hope is to work, and we'll be together. It's an honor to celebrate her legacy. That totally felt like it was something that was agreed to in the settlement agreement. So when we do settlement agreements, usually there's a couple of things. Number one, there's a confidentiality clause, and it says you don't get to talk about anything that happened as part of the settlement, as part of the dispute, and this is, basically the gag order. But every once in a while, someone has to agree to make a public statement. Now, Chris seems like a really great guy. He may have just done this because he's a good dude. But when I was reading it, it was phrased in such a way that I kind of felt like it was kind of required in the settlement agreement that he make a statement just saying, hey, we're all friends, they're great people. I could be wrong about that, but
you're probably right, because the Abrahams, he had a similar Facebook message that was almost worded exactly the same. I want to let you update. The entire Quintanilla family have amicably resolved our legal dispute with Christopher Perez. Now these issues behind us. Going forward, my hope and the hope of the Quintanilla family is for us to work together and continue to honor and celebrate the legacy of Selena. Now, I hope of all of this that what happens is Chris's story can be told, his book, because it's fantastic.
Give a little recap. So you actually read the book, and what's the viewpoint on the book?
I'm all about Selena. So between the movie, the Netflix series, and Chris Perez's book, it gives you a nice kind of, I feel like, balanced interpretation of her life and kind of what it was going through from all the different perspectives, because the movie is a little bit different from the Netflix series. The Netflix series kind of got a little bit of flack because it concentrated more on Abraham and AB's kind of role in it, which, as a music producer myself, I actually liked all of that part of the story. I was very much into the kind of behind the scenes and how the family interacted with her, what AB was doing in the studio, what Abraham was doing in the studio, because I knew a lot already about Selena just from the movie and stuff, and they had similarities, but the Netflix thing really breaks down just kind of a lot of the inner workings. And then when you pair it with Chris's book, it's his story of just kind of, that's what's more focused on his relationship with her,
right? And the love story,
the day to day, the sacrifices that he made, for with his relationship with Abraham, how much he respected Abraham, and how he still does, but it just gets real cloudy and real tricky. But it's such a powerful story that I connect with so deeply, and Selena's music is just incredible. I highly recommend that not only that you check out the book, but you check out the Netflix series, and you just go on YouTube and just have fun. Just go down the rabbit hole of looking at Selena's live performances. There's one that's a compilation of just cover songs that she's done through the years. She covers like Janet Jackson, 80s. The 90s pop. Like she was so good. It's one of the biggest tragedies in music, and I feel that like she really was set to be like the next huge thing, because you could see it on stage, just even in her cover videos where it just goes through the different eras of her and stuff, or you can watch videos that shows compilation of her life and performances and interviews and stuff. She was it.
I saw the Netflix series as well. You should definitely check it out. It was funny to kind of read some of the reviews. They didn't really love the performance. What's the actress's name? Christian Serratos.
Yeah,
And
from Walking Dead.
yeah, and she did a phenomenal job. The
I love the
storytelling, the
series.
acting, I liked it a lot.
The music, like in the Netflix series, is really Selena's voice. So it's like all these like she was amazing. Like she was amazing, and I mean, like such an amazing person and spirit. And honestly, I can't say enough things about Selena
Yeah,
and a better
and
song.
it's good that when it comes to these lawsuits, you settle out because usually someone bleeds dry of attorney's fees. Like that's the bottom line. Or you just realize that there's no further that you can go legally as far as strategy. And so more than likely they just decided to put everything to the wayside to settle out. And settlement is usually means that neither side is happy. That really is the basis of settlements, what each side can stomach to make it go away and to walk away. So whatever it was, I hope that they actually can find some real healing because when you're in war, when you're in court and you're duking it out and you're trying to win whatever it is that you are claiming, it's tough. It is stressful. We're talking a lot about attorney's fees. It's very expensive, but it consumes your entire life. And it provokes a lot of negative emotion. And so, for something now that we're talking just settled in September of 2021, when she passed decades ago. I mean,
Yeah, 95. So yeah, man,
yeah.
it's tough. I just hope that there's new movies, documentaries, series, and stuff that they can work on as a collaborative process, because I think that all of the fans are waiting for is that cosign from the Quintanilla family and Chris Perez. I think they're looking for just everybody to kind of get together on something, so there's not conflicting perspectives. But again, if you're a fan and you kind of take all the sources and kind of hear everybody's perspective, I think it gives a great telling of the story. And that was just, she was incredible. And just a little side note from that, Yolanda Saldivar, who killed Selena, is eligible for parole in 2025. So that's coming. She should stay there forever.
Howard says, I remember that day it was announced. It was a sad day. Yeah.
Absolutely. It's like I said, it's one of the biggest tragedies in music. And it breaks my heart when I think about it, but I'll watch anything Selena. So like I said, I hope that more stuff comes up.